Hello, and good evening, everyone. I'm Micha Stocks, and we're on our weekly live stream, which we didn't do last week just because I didn't have enough internet. I needed to put my computer on top of the router in order to get some kind of high-speed internet, so we kind of skipped it. And beside that, we had a conference, but put that aside. So hello, everyone, and welcome back. I'm Micha Stocks. Yes, I'm the combination of two of my best AI teammates, Mai and Ka. And we're here to talk about the markets. We're here to analyze stocks, but we're mainly here for entertainment and educational purposes only, and nothing is financial advice. Let's dive in and talk about the markets, because the Dow Jones is going to do some kind of history today. It's going to close above 38,000, a level that no one ever thought it would ever reach. This is the S&P today, up 0.1 or 0.06. The NASDAQ is down due to bubble fears, Michael Burry, the regular BS. Dow Jones, as I said, all-time high, hitting 38,000. And the Russell, kind of hunch on the day. VIX, $17.5, strengthening a bit. Bitcoin had a dump all the way to around 100,800, something like that. Now it's seeing some buyers in, and Ethereum at 34.21. We see oil going down 58. Kalshi prediction market says that traders are betting that it's going to around 53. Would that be the future of anything that we do? Would we just, before we short a stock, go to Kalshi and see what, you know what, let's do it now. I'm not shorting any stock, so there's nothing that is preventing me for doing this. So this is Kalshi, prediction markets, and let's talk about oil prices. WTI oil, by end of this month, how high, how low? 76.6. No, not too much. Let's see what else do we have on oil. By Friday, 62.63. That means it's going actually up. Let's go up here. How long? End of. You see all these end of next month, maybe 53.22. We're currently at 58. What do they know? 77% of the people that are betting right now are betting that oil prices are going down to around 53.2. Now, I'm not saying you should short oil stocks. I'm not saying you should do anything, but I'm just saying that this might be one of the most interesting ways of kind of looking at the market. So, I don't know, take it with a grain of salt. This is Fear and Greed, CNN gauge. Let's see where we are. We're still at fear. 35 is the level. And we have some interesting news coming from the White House. First of all, before the White House, probably, I think in the next hour, not probably, in the next hour, they're gonna start voting to end the government shutdown. End of day, probably government shutdown will end, and we will be ready to get some reports. Actually, don't be so sure about that. So we'll start with Trump, that is meeting a lot of bankers, high-level bankers. No one really knows why. No one really knows what they're going to talk about, except the fact that their stocks are at all-time high. But beside that, no one really knows. It might be to talk about 50-year mortgages. It might be other things. We don't really know. We don't also know if Blackstone, after divesting some of their real estate assets, are going to acquire Four Seasons in downtown San Francisco. After saying San Francisco is a bad place, suddenly prices went down, and guess who's buying everything? But this is the most important thing that's related to government shutdown. The White House says that October's jobs inflation data, which we waited for the first Friday, as you remember, of November, wasn't released. Now everyone's waiting because we need data, because without data, how do we know if more jobs are created, less jobs are created? Inflation, White House says, we're not really sure that we're going to have time for that. So the question is, why is that happening? Now, I don't have any information on why. I can just say that Goldman Sachs yesterday posted this, saying the job growth tracker shows a slowdown. Maybe jobs aren't opening in the pace that the White House wants them to. Now, why is it good to actually do, or actually showing these numbers? Because it pushes the Fed to lower rates. But it kind of hurts the White House, saying that jobs are not being created. So they're kind of in a turmoil here, not really clear what the purpose of hiding it. What we do know is that Wells Fargo is sending their customers to sell tech stocks, to take profit. Does that mean that they've become bearish, or is this a sign that we should start buying? No one never knows about these things, except the fact that they're saying it. It's just like Jim Cramer is saying that. Do we need to do it opposite or not? Apple today introduced digital ID. They're going to roll it out in the next few months. And that's great. We won't need to carry passports anymore, things like that. Everything would be on our phone. What would happen if we would lose our phone? That's a different kind of question. CoreWeave had relatively good earnings, but their forecast didn't look as good. And their CEO did a crappy job on CNBC. And that, of course, introduced more fears into the AI bubble, or AI boom is more fragile, depending how you want to call it. And this is Michael Intertor, which is CoreWeave's CEO. Tesla today said that there are a lot of other countries except the US that are testing FSD in their countries. But I do want to talk about a specific stock that, at least in my mind, is the most interesting story of the last few months, and that's Opendoor. So on this channel, which is the English-speaking channel, we don't talk about Opendoor that often because there's only one weekly summary, and this live stream. Let me give you a quick rundown on Opendoor. Opendoor is doing Opendoor. A few months ago, an activist, or actually a hedge fund, started promoting the stock, saying they need to replace their CEO. They need to do a lot of changes. There's a lot of potential, a lot of information around that. That was around $1 or something like that. The stock shot up to 4.95, then it went down all the way to 1 and went up to 10.87. Up until now, nothing crazy except the fact that it multiplied by 10 its value. Wait, now it corrected from 10.87 all the way to 5.27, almost 50%, actually 50%. But then management decided to do something very creative. They said, instead of fighting shorts in the regular way, instead of providing dividend to our customers, instead of doing all the regular things, after, of course, they brought in the ex-COO of Shopify, we're going to do something different. We're going to provide anyone that holds the stock by November 18th, we're going to provide them with additional 3 stocks per every 30 stocks they own. Which means that if you own 30 stocks, you'll get 3 different, which are not really stocks, they're more warrants, that their lockup will be opened at prices 9, 13, 18, if I remember correctly. Now, why is it so interesting? Because from that point on, the short sellers have put themselves in a situation where now they need to also provide warrants to the ones that they lended the stocks from. And as you can see, since that point, 528 all the way to 920, the stock is up 72% in 4 days. This is crazy. And the crazy thing is now we're above 9. So basically, you're getting 9, 13, and 17. Thank you, Young Dreamer, which means that basically you're getting free stocks. It's a crazy situation. I'm telling you, something here is. Let me look for the summary. Give me a second. I'll look here for the summary. I didn't plan on talking about it. Actually, I never plan on talking about anything when I go on live streams. Sometimes you guys surprise me on the live stream. You know what? Let's do it together. Let's go to Perplexity and ask him, are you aware of dollar open warrants that were announced? And they'll look it up and they'll find it in just a second. Okay, yes, they provided, here you go, 9, 13, and 17. You need to be, okay, so the distribution date. It follows this rule. Warrants will be distributed on November 21st to any shareholders on record on November 18th. So Series K is $9 warrants. Basically, they're giving anyone, and I'm not, this is, okay. This is not financial advice, okay? Not financial advice. I'm just telling you a story. You need to take your own decisions, okay? Need to take your own decisions. I'm very, 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 very cautious here because I don't want you guys to go crazy, okay? I want to explain the situation. Situation is as follows. If, or not if, anyone that holds Opendoor stocks by November 18th would be eligible to the following 3 trenches. Trench number 1, every 30 stocks you have, you will get Series K, Series A, and Series Z. KAZ, name of the CEO. One trench, $9. Second trench, $13. Third trench, $17. Basically, you're getting free stocks. Free as in not free and 3. Now, because we're already above 9, basically you just got one for free. If we'll get to 13, you'll get 2 for free. Etc., etc. This whole idea is very interesting. This whole idea is very interesting. It's not even interesting. It's like look at the stock shooting up while I'm talking about it. It's the most fascinating story right now in the market, and we've been following it on our Hebrew speaking channel for the last, I want to say, 3 months. We've been following actually on a live stream once when it was like around a buck. I was like, okay, this is interesting. I didn't put money in, and I'm so sorry for that. Never mind. Okay, this is not about me. This is about you guys. Let's look at several stocks. First of all, Benny Yom Tov, I want to say thank you. Shalev, thank you very much. Otto wants to talk about MOD, mode manufacturing. It's not really breaking down, but it's hovering here. I want to say if it drops under 140, you should worry a bit. I don't think you should worry right now. I think we're okay, at least from my perspective. LUMN, let's talk about Lumen. LUMN. Ooh, not looking good. Not looking good. Where is it going to stop? So one way is to look at support and resistance. The other way is just to pull up the Fibonacci retracement. And you can see that we just passed through 38.2 correction. We probably might land at around 7.6. Yeah, not looking good. Not looking good. By the way, the stop should have been at 10.19. If you're not practicing your stop losses, then you're basically gambling with your own money. It just dropped 16% more than where the stop loss should have stopped you and kicked you out, which is the great definition of stop loss. Stopping you out of losing money. Think of a mechanism that would make sure that if you lose too much money, they would pull you out of the casino saying, you know what? You lost too much. This is enough. This is called the stop loss. Doesn't even cost you anything. It tells you, I will stop you from losing more money. Yet people fight it and say, no, I don't want it to stop me. I want to keep losing money. I think losing money is a good idea. I want to lose more and more and more. And I'm like, really? That's what you want to do? Lose more money? Why? So, big discussions around stop loss. Tomorrow morning, Disney is going to report. They're going to talk about parks and everything. Let's look at what Henry asks us. What do you think about U.S. debt that will bankrupt the country? First of all, an amazing question. U.S. debt keeps going up. No one cares about it. And eventually someone would care about it, but currently no one cares about it. So would I not fall asleep being not in charge of it? No. I'm going to sleep very well with the U.S. debt. You're probably right, by the way. It's a problem. I can't do anything with it. The people that can don't care. So what should I do? I can keep worrying about it without any ability to do anything, or just say, okay, yeah, I know about the debt. I can tell you that it probably can be financed and blah, blah, blah. They can do a lot of things, but never mind. If the people that are in charge of the debt don't care about it, Should I care about it? Let's see the closing bell and then we'll continue. Here we go. We're very close to closing the day with the Dow Jones hitting a fresh all-time high above 48,000 for the first time ever. And if you would ask someone 20 years ago, would it ever be at 48,000? People would tell you, you're crazy. No way. Delta Airlines rings the opening and the closing bell. And I have no idea who those people are. NASDAQ? Some kind of conference. Okay, closing bell. We just ended the day. So hello everyone and welcome back. We're on the closing bell live stream and let's look how the market ended the day with the S&P 500 ending the day. Let's look at it in a different way. It would be easier to see it here. Let's look at it this way. Okay. S&P 500 positive for the day, 0.18. NASDAQ positive for the day, almost positive, basically positive in the last few minutes. The Russell down for the day, but the Dow Jones, that's the biggest story of the day. History has been made, 48,000. From a sector perspective, you can see that we're kind of 50-50, with energy being the biggest loser, while healthcare being the biggest winner, with biotech going ballistic. I want to show you something around energy. So oil crude looks this way. As you can see, it's on a down trajectory. You know, it was once 126, now it's 58. So this is oil. XLE, an energy sector, is not breaking down. It's actually consolidating. Chevron doesn't look good. As you can see, highs that are going lower, which means lower highs, okay? A downward channel. But ExxonMobil looking more like XLE. What we're seeing right now is bifurcation of the energy companies and energy stocks. Some of them will be able to power the AI trade, will be able to power the AI data centers like ExxonMobil and others. Why? Because they have turbines and others. Other companies are focused on oil, which look bad. So when you look at energy, not every energy company is built the same and is generating energy in the same way. Keep that in the back of your mind. I actually like ExxonMobil chart. The other chart that I like today is Netflix. Netflix today, or actually 4 or 5 days ago. So this is Netflix. I'll explain from the beginning. Netflix at 821 runs all the way to 1341, corrects 50% of the run, as you can see here, then starts correcting back, entering the gap this during today's session, and closing on the entry point of the gap, which means that once we close inside the gap for the first time, you can see it this way, that would be kind of a mark saying we're going to close the gap. So that's very interesting chart for Netflix. There's still lower highs here, and there's still a bit of work to be done, but it looks okay. AMD with phenomenal performance after their investor day yesterday. Lisa Su and the team did an amazing job providing the analysts with ideas on where AMD is going. And we also have, I see, Serve Robotics reporting and missing on everything. Let's check it out. They have reported, they're missing on EPS and missing on revenue. Let's see what the stock is doing right now. Serve Robotics, it's going down by 5.5%. Yes, it it missed on both earnings and sales. Let's continue with a few more questions. Hey, Micah, thank you for the great conference. You're welcome, Ron. ExxonMobil, I just talked about it. I didn't see your request. ExxonMobil, I think something very interesting might be happening with ExxonMobil. I think you should wait after we clear the 123, even the 126. So also, if you guys want to read a book, let me show you something. So I think I have the book here. Wait a second. Let's do this and do this. And we'll change the color to orange to yellow. Okay. Wait a second. Let's see if I have it. Yes, wait. Okay, see this book? How I made $2 million in the stock market. Now, when he made $2 million, it's like making $2 billion today. So this is Nicholas Darvis. When he traded stocks, I think most of you were probably in a different kind of place and location in other people's body. But never mind. Keep that aside. I think when was that? 1952. Some of you might have read about this year. So in 1952, he traded. He was a dancer who traded stocks. He said, I need some more money. I need to trade stocks. What he did is he recognized the fact that some stocks consolidate. And he would send these telegrams, these postcards, a text, okay, in our day of time, to his broker, saying, listen, I've recognized that, for example, ExxonMobil is consolidating since October 2022 for 3 years. Once it breaks out, buy me a bunch of stocks. Okay? And that's how he would trade, because he couldn't call him, or there wasn't internet back. Yeah, there was a time where internet didn't exist. And he would make a lot. He made $2 million, which again, back then it was. So he had several rules, and this is a great example of how he would wait very patiently and saying, okay, I want to see the breakout, and then I'll buy it. I have no idea why I told you this long story, but it seems like it's very interesting. I don't know. At the time, it seemed like a very good idea to show you the book. When I show people books, it seems like I'm a very smart person. So I that's why a lot of people buy books, to show others that they're very smart. Some of them are just door stoppers. Others are as you saw before, in my cabinet. So a very interesting book, by the way. You should read it, just to see that stocks went up even before you were born. Just saying. Okay. Hey, I see it's a tough crowd today. I understand. Okay. Hey, Micah, can you talk about Oracle? Yeah, sure. Let's talk about Oracle. ORCL. So Oracle's debt is something that is frightening the market right now. Oracle tried to turn around the 150-day moving average. It's still trying to avoid closing beneath it, as you can see, but it's not looking good. The chart isn't looking good. I thought the beginning of the week that Oracle would turn around and buyers would step in. No buyers currently. Only sellers. Only sellers in the building. And right now it's going down. Maybe next support would be around 205 or 215. You want to hear Cisco? Let's hear Cisco. Here's Christina.
$8 billion, also stronger than anticipated. We're talking about the Q2 EPS guidance. Keep in mind that this is we're talking about the past Q1.
I think Cisco is back to all-time highs. Took them only 26 years.
Anticipated the same thing for the Q2 revenue guidance.
Yeah, Cisco running
full year guidance, and this guide is stronger, much stronger, despite the government shutdown. Cisco does have a lot of exposure.
So let's look at Cisco chart. Thank you, Christina. This is Cisco chart. As you can see, it broke out of 66.50, went up. Its target is around 80. If you want to go back, you want to see why you need to sell stocks. Let me take you back. To this is Cisco stock hitting $82 with a multiple of 135, if I'm not mistaken, in the peak of the bubble. $82 a share. It took it. It's still not there. Over 26 years. And it's not even there to recoup all the stock price. But then you might say, this is a huge cup. That's true, but it might take another 20-something years until that cup would be recognized. So that's very interesting for Cisco, and it reported, and the stock is up by 3.8%. Good, that was Cisco. DNLY, let's put on a daily chart. We are seeing in DNLY a pattern that we might call bearish to bullish, or actually we might call, let's see what we have here. So let's go to our lows. We can connect them this way. Our highs, let's connect them this way. And you can see that today we just broke out. Next resistance is 1852. Once we close above it, next might be around 24. Good identification, Neta. Good idea. What's your opinion on Navitas? NVTS? Yes, Navitas, NVTS. My opinion currently on the stock is that the stock has to build more momentum of buyers. When you look at the last month down here, I'll pull it up. Look at the amount of green versus the amount of red. Now the red is decreasing, which is good. Yet I want to see buyers stepping in. Now, you might say, but wait, I heard some kind of method called the MICO method that when you're close to 150-day moving average, you should probably think of buying a stock, which I'm good with. But again, I don't see buyers stepping in yet, and I would but suggest that you kind of wait until we clear these rejections, resistances around 917 and 948 before you pull the trigger. Okay? I don't have any opinion beside that. Yes, it's above 150-day moving average. Yes, it's corrected a lot. I would just wait a bit. I want to see buyers. Okay, I want to see buyers. Buyers are important. Okay. Jets, Jonathan. Wow, long time we didn't talk about Jets. They're on the verge of a breakout above 26, which might bring them all the way to 34. Keep me posted on that, Jonathan. Well, once they break the 26 mark, keep me posted. Very interesting. Look at the cup and handle. Another handle. The depth of the cup is around $8, 8.7. House begins voting. Here's Emily Wilkins.
Until the early evening, but under all expectations is going to end with the government reopening.
Yes.
Of House Republicans, many of them say that they are on board, that they plan to vote for this. Of course, a lot of Democrats are opposed, but as last time, we did see a few cross the aisle. And now that means tomorrow morning, the government is expected to begin to restart again. Agencies that have been closed now.
Excellent. Great news. Government returning from their longest ever shutdown. Hey, Micah, the conference was excellent. Thank you very much. Thank you. Boeing on the 250 moving average. Wow. How did you get to the 250-day moving average? I don't try to force the moving averages. I got to tell you that. I think that the stock needs to convince me to buy it rather than me convince myself to buy a stock. I don't like it here. I really don't like it. Let's see on the 200-day. It's even under the 200. I don't like it. I don't like the fact that you need to force yourself. Kind of going back to 250-day. Do you ever use the 250-day on anything? I never used it before. I don't think I will right now. Fed Collins says likely appropriate to keep policy rates on hold. Oh, God. They're not going to lower rates. That's not good. I would wait above 219. I got to tell you. I would wait to see it here. I would wait. At least from my perspective. I would wait. I wouldn't try to force the moving average that I've never heard about. Hi, Micah. What do you think about CRDO? That's rich. Now, exactly. Okay, CRDO. CRDO. Okay. CRDO. CRDO had a potential of a cup and handle, which didn't fulfill itself. Right now, let's pull this out. Let's delete this. Okay. What do we have now? We have higher lows. And we're waiting. We're waiting to see something. You pulled up a 20-day moving average. That's fine. But I don't see buyers here. Actually, today was a green day. It ended plus 1.1, yet sellers were in control. I would wait to see a green candle, maybe even a hammer, just like this one. And if it would be on this support line, that would be amazing. I would wait. I don't see any reason to buy today. I would wait another day. Okay? And Barak AAOI making a doji on the 150. Let's see. Yes, but sellers are still in control. See? Sellers are still in control. Again, just like I said earlier, just wait another day. If you see buyers entering, great. I'm not convinced because, if it was green, I would say, yes, you know what? You just hit the jackpot. But I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Take for example, TEM. Okay, same idea. It's like they're doing dojis on 150-day, but they're not convincing me yet. Let's see GRAB. See, wasn't able yet to convince buyers to step in. So I don't think you should force yourself into a stock. I think the stocks should reveal themselves to the master. There's no snow outside? No, not yet. There were flurries a bit 2 days ago, but that's it. What about Palantir? Oh my God, Palantir. So Palantir needs to be above 190 to be relevant, and right now it's not, which is not a good idea for Palantir holders. Now, of course, when it's under 190 or under anything, people start explaining why Palantir is the most important company in the world. Yet, that's not the case. There's a question here around Opendoor, and everyone gets the warrants. Everyone gets hey, you know what? I'm sorry to. I don't know. Call them and ask them, or text them, or whatever. Every brokerage should give you the warrants for Opendoor, but should doesn't mean they would. BBAI broke out today over 709. That's a very positive sign. And last but not least, NVIDIA. Next week on Wednesday, we will not have our English live stream. We're going to have our English live stream on Tuesday, because on Wednesday we're going to have the Hebrew speaking live streams on NVIDIA earnings, 7 days for today, where we're going to host some of our club members, some of our community members, which are going to do kind of a watch party for NVIDIA. Should you buy before earnings? Who knows? Who knows? Guys, thank you very much for being here today. We're going to meet again during the weekend when we summarize the week. So till next time, it was great seeing you. Bye-bye.